Hello everyone! The lovers of short challenges can rejoice because short challenges are back. Welcome to Do You Think I Gained Weight challenge. You voted for it, so here we go. Let's get into it, shall we? As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who subscribe and watch these videos. You're keeping this channel alive and going. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy. Before we start, however, allow me to direct your attention to my shop, where besides the new Semishira keychains, you can also find the Kyouhaba ones, the Pride bracelet collection, Nekoma bracelet, and some other cool jewelry I make. Link is in the description. Jeez, what is this group chat? I haven't seen this many people since we did that first TikTok challenge. I mean, this might be kinda similar, so why not? The more the merrier. I wouldn't jump for joy yet. You don't know what's this about. The ones giving harsh challenges aren't here, so I would say we have a pretty solid chance it's going to be tame. Still. I'll save judgment until I hear what's going on. But just so you know, we have a lot of work on our hands with a baby, and I can't do anything time-consuming. Wait, baby? You have a child? Since when? How dare you not send a picture? Maybe later. Kenji doesn't want to share too much about him. It's a sensitive topic. Oh? Now I'm even more intrigued. Don't look for any conspiracy in it. He's not biologically ours, we are his guardians. I see. I was wondering why Shirabu didn't mention anything when we last met. It's still adorable. Definitely. Alright, let's leave the baby talk for later, okay? Right, what's the challenge? To ask your partner if he thinks you gained weight. That's an interesting one. Is everything alright? Yeah, it's just... I've been thinking a bit too much recently, I guess. Don't worry about that. I'm sure your partners will be supportive, so no danger here. Are you sure everything is alright? You sound stressed. I promise it's fine, but thanks for your concern. Okay, then why not, I guess. I'm kinda glad you didn't choose love for this. And Chica, I would be worried sick if he came to me with this. Well, now he's going to be the one worried. Oh shoot, that's true. It's fine, I'll manage. Doesn't sound like anyone is protesting. Okay, good. Good luck. The challenge was strange. Not only because Konoha seemed quite out of it despite his words, but there was a lot that could go wrong. In both directions. Against his better judgment, Shigeru couldn't help but stop in front of the huge mirror hanging on one of the walls of the gymnasium he worked at, assessing his reflection with a critical eye and more anxiety than he would like. He had always had a bit strained relationship with food. What if... Come on, stop this. As if Ken would mind. He repeated that in his head a few times before he forced himself to get away from the mirror and go collect his things. He couldn't let Kentaro and Bruno wait just because of his doubts. His mood instantly improved when he spotted his husband waiting at the usual spot, the happy bark Bruno let out chasing most of the ugly thoughts away. Most. Sorry, did you wait for long? Nah, just a few minutes. He tugged Shigeru back for a second kiss, his brow furrowing a bit when they parted. What's wrong? Huh? Nothing. Why? You are tense, so something is wrong. What is it? Shigeru chuckled, though it sounded strange to his own ears too. He shouldn't be surprised anymore that Kentaro managed to read his emotions as if it was his second nature. Even now, when he thought he left the thoughts in the gymnasium, Kentaro felt the invisible net he got tangled in. It's just... Do you think I gained weight recently? The confused crease on Kentaro's forehead deepened. No? How did you come to that? I mean, I've been eating more recently, so it made me wonder if... He didn't finish, his words cut short by the gentle yet firm grip of the calloused hands on his cheeks. Don't. But... Don't. I'm glad you are eating more, so even if you did gain some weight, it would be a good thing. Besides, it would just make you cuter. Shigeru's cheeks flared up, the smile Kentaro gave him speeding up his heartbeat. You think so? Yeah. You'll be pretty in any shape or form, so no need to stress about gain kilos, His face softened, though Shigeru didn't miss the flash of sorrow in the amber eyes. Don't worry about it, okay? You're healthy, that's important. And just like that, Shigeru could cry. If from relief or happiness, he wasn't sure. Perhaps both. Or maybe just from the realization of how lucky he got in life. The soft hum Kentaro let out when he hugged him vibrated with his core, sending the most pleasant shivers through his skin. I love you, you know. So much. I love you too. Come on now, let's get some ice cream along the way. A certain tension hung in the air. It had been like this since Hayato saved him from unwanted attention of one of the bar regulars, but Taichi couldn't figure out if it was because Hayato was worried or upset. He was leaning towards worried, but he didn't have the courage to ask up front. Questions like these often led to not so nice answers. Similarly to the challenge. Not that he expected Hayato to be mean about his body or weight, but still. Arms wrapping around his waist from behind stopped his thoughts and movement, his heart skipping a beat when Hayato leaned his forehead against his back. I didn't know you're awake already. I wouldn't be if you didn't disappear. I wanted my cuddles. Taichi smiled and patted Hayato's hair, glad his husband wasn't upset with him after all. I'll go back if you want me to. I just got hungry. Sounds good. I'm surprised you got up because of hunger though. You don't usually do that. Taichi paused. Did he not? Really? I'm not sure why. I guess I got used to eating in the morning. Like a cat. He nuzzled deeper into Taichi's shoulder, the gentle touch on his sides making Taichi's heart go crazy. But I'm glad you're eating breakfast again. It got me worried when you stopped, you know. Really? Yeah. It's important to eat something in the morning. Let's not risk injuries from fainting, okay? His voice trembled a bit in the end, and Taichi couldn't help but squeeze his hand. He really was causing all kinds of worries for his beloved, and while he knew neither of the last few instances were fully his fault, and Hayato was too kind to blame them on him, he felt guilty. So you wouldn't mind if I gained weight? The question was out before he could think about it. Hayato hummed in surprise before he hugged him a bit tighter. No, as long as you are happy and comfy, I don't care. It's not my place to say anything anyway. Though, if you ever get worried about it, you can come to me. I'll make sure no ugly thoughts about your body will bother you. Taichi believed that wholeheartedly. That was just the way Hayato was, and his influence was indisputable. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Good. Now finish that omelette and come back to bed. It's cold without you. There was something strangely calming about watching a baby fall asleep. Maybe because they had one of the mostly sleepless nights behind them again, but Semi wanted to believe it was because of the inherent cuteness of the sight. Besides, it wasn't like the little boy gave them much grief through the night, which was great given Shirabu's schedule. Though, watching him now as he sat slumped over his breakfast, almost falling asleep with the spoon halfway to his mouth, it seemed that their new role as parents impacted them very differently. I guess that's one of the reasons why he hesitated for so long. Or why he didn't want kids in the first place. It was a somewhat cruel twist of fate that they ended up being guardians of the 3-month-old all of a sudden, given their different views on becoming parents. In a situation when only one of them could talk nonetheless. His hand instinctively straight to his throat, the bumps of the various scars under his fingers a harsh reminder of the twisted ways of fate. A little bit to the side, and Shirabu could have been a single parent. He shoot that thought away, opting to instead focus on the positive things, and headed to Shirabu. The doctor grumbled quietly when he petted his hair. I wanna sleep. Why do they say sleep like a baby? They don't sleep properly at all. Semi smiled and slid a piece of paper towards him. It's going to be fine, you'll see. How can it be fine? He's 3 months old. This is going to prevail until he's at least 2. I don't think I can handle this. Of course you can, and I'm here with you. I'll help you with everything. He didn't miss the flinch in Shirabu's face, nor the sorrow in his eyes that followed. I know, and I'm grateful, really. It's just... you should be recovering, not parenting. I am recovering while also helping you. We are in this together, remember? For better or worse. Shirabu whined quietly, his cheeks coloring light pink despite his attempts to hide it. With a soft smile, Semi kissed the top of his head and then took advantage of the situation to write the challenge question. Shirabu looked at him with surprise, perhaps shock even, his eyes scanning Semi's whole body before his brow furrowed. No? Where did that come from? Just a thought. You know, since I don't really move around nowadays. Well, yeah, but you also don't eat as much because of your throat. So maybe you'd rather be careful about losing weight. Just tell me if that happens, I'll think of something. As if he needed to worry about more things than so far. With a soft sigh, Semi leaned down to steal a kiss from Shirabu's lips, deciding not to argue about it for Shirabu's sake. Shirabu no less than melted under his touch, some of the tense lines around his eyes disappearing. Daisho was never too bound to watch his weight. Blessed with fast metabolism of his family, the regular practices were enough to keep him on a steady, Athlete worthy, but healthy weight despite his sweet tooth. Terushima noted how unfair that was a few times, sounding almost jealous, though never mean about it. However, the more worried Daisho was now. Suddenly mentioning something he never concerned himself with out loud was about to catch Terushima's attention, and not in a good way. He's going to worry again. Maybe with others it's fine to ask that, but if you frown just a bit more, you'll end up with premature wrinkles. Snapped back into reality by the amused voice, Daisho looked up from his phone, finding his fiancée grinning at him with a lively twinkle in his eyes. Oh, sorry. I was thinking. Yeah, I know. You usually only frown like this when you do. The words warmed Daisho's heart. Being loved meant being seen, and that's exactly what he felt like right now. Still, he startled a bit when Terushima jumped on the bed next to him with a quiet huff. So, what's on your mind? If it's something nice, you can share. And if not, then you can too. I'll try to help. Unable to hold back a smile of his own, Daisho leaned closer to gently bump their foreheads together, the usual pleasant warmth flooding his whole being. Thank you. I was just wondering, do you think I gained weight? As expected, Terushima's brow furrowed in confusion almost immediately after the words left his mouth. You mean recently? Or overall? Recently. No, I don't think so. Why? What's wrong? Trying to stop the train of thoughts he could already see forming in Terushima's mind, he gently ruffled the blonde hair, ruining the styling a bit. Nothing, I promise. Then why are you suddenly concerned about your weight? I mean, you did gain some kilos since we met, but that's good. You were really skinny back then. A strangled chuckle escaped Daisho's mouth. Yeah, it wasn't the easiest time on my head. Terushima hummed and crawled over the rest of free space between them to wrap himself around Daisho's waist, leaving his head laid on his stomach. I bet. But no, your figure is still as nice to look at as ever. Not that it wouldn't with a few kilos more, or even chubby. As long as you wouldn't mind, I definitely wouldn't. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Daisho knew. He relaxed back, much enjoying having Terushima close. I'm glad you think so. Of course. You are a stunner. Nothing can change that. Oh, you won't believe what happened to me today. Being the volleyball icon he was, Atsumu always took good care of his appearance, his waistline included. Though that was more because of being a pro athlete required him to keep his weight in check, but whatever. However, now that the challenge was on the table, he found himself standing shirtless in front of the mirror and critically assessing what he saw. And he didn't like what he saw in the slightest. Not that he didn't like how his body looked, however, somehow he managed to miss that he could no longer see the muscles on his stomach sharply chiseled. Instead, it reminded him of how he looked like when he was 15, with more weight put on. What does that matter? The sets are the most important thing and I excel at those. The Checo also has a belly now and he's considered one of the best setters. Annoyed, he stuck his tongue out at his reflection and strode to the living room. Sakusa looked up in surprise, which soon turned into confusion when Atsumu stopped right in front of him and motioned to himself. Do you think I gained weight? What? Just answer. Shrugging, Sakusa put his book down and leaned to Atsumu, squeezing the softer lump on his side. I mean, these weren't here when we met. Atsumu gasped, thoroughly offended despite it being him who asked in the first place, and smacked Sakusa's hand away. Homie, how dare you! I'll let you know I'm still in perfect shape. Yeah, a round is a shape, alright. Homie! What? Don't ask questions you don't want to hear answers to. Unable to believe his ears, Atsumu hastily put the t-shirt back on before throwing Sakusa a glare. And here he thought his own boyfriend, the love of his life, would be supportive. But apparently not. Before he could walk away, Sakusa grabbed his wrist and pulled him back, carefully leading him to sit on his lap. His cheeks flushed, and while he tried to stay strong and not get persuaded by a simple hug, the soft smile curling Sakusa's lips was difficult to resist. You know it doesn't matter you don't have chiseled abs, right? Your performance in matches is important, and that's flawless as far as I can tell. Atsumu melted. Aww, so you wouldn't mind me being chubby? Why would I? You think I fell for your looks with this hairstyle? And you ruined it. The good thing about this challenge was undoubtedly the fact that Asahi knew he was getting a bit chubbier since he stopped playing volleyball and started to spend long hours hunched over at the table, drawing. Hence, there was hardly any surprise waiting for him in Noya's answer, be it whatever. He could be calm since if Noya minded, he would already tell him before. Though he was curious how Noya saw the slow change. Might be insightful. What are you doing? Asahi had to smile when the shorter man draped himself over his shoulders, snuggling close and squeezing tight, just like always when he got the chance. Just some additional suggestions to the fits, so the seamstress could adjust it to the model's wishes. Shouldn't they be content with what you gave them since they approved it already? Yeah, but I think it's nice to give the models some freedom of expression. Even when they are put in front of a damn thing. The gentle vibration of Noya's hum resonated in his ear, his hand instinctively finding its way to the unruly hair to ruffle it. Always so considerate. Just be careful, don't let them take advantage of you. You wouldn't let them anyway. Heck yeah, I wouldn't. He ran his fingers through Asahi's hair for a change, apparently very content with the feeling. As was Asahi for the matter. He lived for those moments of closeness. They may have been rare these days, but the more he appreciated each and every one of them. How about we go out for dinner tonight? Again? We were 2 days ago too. And the day before. Noya shrugged, moving to sit on Asahi's lap. So what? The food is good and it saves time cooking. Well, yeah, but don't you think I gained weight recently? Noya paused, then pulled away a bit to measure Asahi with a critical eye, while the confused crease in between his brows kept getting deeper. It was kinda comical. No? I mean, not more than usual. To that, Asahi raised his eyebrow. More than usual? You know what I mean. Do I? Grumbling, Noya gently jabbed into Asahi's stomach. I mean that it doesn't matter even if you did. Who cares? And you're comfy to lie on. Asahi allowed himself a short, hearty laugh before he squished Noya to his chest. It went even better than he imagined, and he was grateful for that. Alright, let's go out then. Yippee! Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I need to do more of these short challenges, like 3000 characters at most per part, because I think it's great for those of you who have shorter attention spans too, and yeah, it's enjoyable. Like, I enjoy writing it, I enjoy voicing it, so I really need to do more of them. Unfortunately, not every challenge can be done in this kind of way, but hey, I have some in the storage for the rainy days, I guess. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time!